Hey everyone, so super excited today. We've got a great presentation for today, especially poignant because we are just starting the Olympics. Yes, so the Olympics started, I think it was 3 days ago. Today's the 26th. Yes, they started on the 23rd. So we're really excited. We've got a great lineup for you today. We're talking about fitness for the whole family. So if during COVID, maybe you kind of said, I don't feel like exercising, or maybe you got out of your exercise routine, today is the day to get back into it. Got some great tips for you and for everyone in your family. And we're talking from everyone from grandma and grandpa through the littlest ones, through toddlers. So moms and dads, take out your pencil and paper and get ready to talk about fitness. You can see I came prepared to go to the gym today. I will take off these earrings, I promise, as soon as I leave. I won't go to the gym with fancy earrings on because I would just be a little bit too much, but I wanted to just be ready to talk to all of you about fitness for the whole family. So Ashley says hi, Jesselyn says hi. She says you can hear me loud and clear. So for anybody who's new today, we want to talk a little bit about fitness. We want to talk about the Olympics, which I think is really important. And then in the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about a big reveal that we have, which is actually something I think that's going to benefit all of you. So I'm going to not only share my screen with you, but I also want to talk about who's watching the Olympics. So let me know if you're watching the Olympics. Really want to hear about it. And Teresa, I can see your beautiful face. Can you see my screen? Yes, thank you so much. Talk about fitness for the entire family. Really an important topic. I know that many of you have, and me included, have kind of had ups and downs in your fitness routine. I know that during the pandemic, I kind of dropped off the face of the earth. We went to fully masked, and also needing to make appointments. And I have to say, thanks to my daughter, we were going about, at least she and I were going about 5 days a week. My husband, because of some health concerns, was not going to the gym, but he was walking around in our neighborhood. And my son was kind of doing I don't know, let's call it a cross or a hybrid, if you will, of going out with his dad or coming to the gym with us. But we really tried during the pandemic to just get some fitness in. I feel like for mental health, for physical health, it's so important. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but I hope today you learned something. And if you've got a family and you've got children and you're trying to encourage them to stay fit, or even to have little ones stay fit, I think it's really important. I know some of you are still under lockdown, or you're in a situation where you can't get out of your houses as much, or maybe your gyms are still closed. So if you're listening to this and your gym is still closed, we've got some tips for you for getting outside, and also for even working out in your house, if that's the only option that you have. And really anything is good. I always feel like between 20 and 30 minutes a day is a good way to get your exercise in. I have a very good friend who's extremely fit. Actually, I have a couple that are extremely fit, but this one in particular says that she does something every single day. She says, even if she gets to the end of the day and she's realized, I haven't worked out, she'll do a few push-ups or a few sit-ups or a plank or whatever it is, just to feel like she's moving her body and stressing her muscles that day and giving herself, I don't know, just a little bit of a charge, if you will. Okay, so let's talk a little bit first about the Olympics. Okay, so the Olympics, as we know, are once every 4 years. It was supposed to be Tokyo 2020, but that just didn't happen because of the pandemic. But the Olympics have finally started now. They've kept their logo, which is kind of cute. The Olympics officially started on July 23rd. And I have to say, I've been actively watching them almost every day, especially because it's the weekend, right? So it's really fun to see the opening ceremonies. It's a little quiet though. Let me know in the chat though, are you watching the Olympics? I know we don't have a lot of people on right now. I have to say that during the opening ceremonies, I was super pleased to see some of my favorite countries like Malaysia, like Singapore, like Vietnam, like the Philippines come parading in with their beautiful uniforms that usually have something to do represent their country, or something that they're particularly proud of or part of their history. It was really wonderful to see the flag bearers bearing those flags and coming in with all of the athletes coming behind. And we know that many athletes actually had to train at home and make sort of, I don't know, makeshift arrangements to be able to continue to stay fit. I don't know what the swimmers did, but I know that I was listening to a commentator last night saying that some of the swimmers were actually swimming in a lake and that there were snapping turtles in there and that they had to give up and find a different place. So that's kind of crazy. So Jesslyn says yes, that she's seeing. Angeline, yes. Wendy, yes. Megan says, and very good looking athletes too. Yeah, isn't it true? Fit people look really good, right? They look amazing. So there's some great athletes out there. These are just a few of the athletes that I'm watching. I'm obviously a fan of some of the American athletes, some of the swimmers, the gymnasts. New this year is skateboarding, also beach volleyball, soccer, running. As we know, we've got a great variety of sports and some brand new sports, things like surfing, brand new this year. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. I don't know if you know this, but there are a lot of different types of instruments for doing their sports. And you can know that's everything from archery through fencing. I watched fencing last night. Interesting that different types of balls that people use, different types of sports balls. So this got me thinking about how there's a variety of implements that we can use. And that made me think about essential oils, because if there's so many just balls that people can use, everything from table tennis to basketballs, everything and everything in between, how many essential oils can we use to keep fit? Athletes obviously are varying the implements, the tools that they use, and we should be doing the same thing. So are you ready? We're going to talk today about fitness and the family, right? So thank you so much. I'm so happy that everyone's here. In our family, we've always tried to stay fit. We are far from perfect, but we do have some nice areas in our neighborhood that we can get out, we can walk. My kids have always played outside, even from the time they were little. We're very blessed that there's a safe area right around here where they could just go outside and run around and play. And we always encourage them to get outside, get outside. Even when they were tiny, we made sure that they got outdoors every single solitary day to do something active. And what I notice now that they're both in their 20s is that they're both still very active. My daughter is a lacrosse coach and also does all sorts of exercise in gyms and so on. And my son is very still involved in lacrosse, playing lacrosse on a team in college. And we hope that that continues throughout their life. If you have small children, encourage them to be active. It's their natural, I don't know, kids want to be active, right? They want to run around and they want to do things. And so we want to encourage them to do that. It's really all about attitude. What do your kids see you doing? If you're sitting on the couch all day, it's unlikely that your kids are going to jump up and run. But even if you're sitting on the couch, kids want to be active, right? They want to play. So if we think about exercise as play, right, and not about job, because if it's a job, then it's no fun. You always want to do the exercise that you like the best, right? Not something that necessarily something that someone else recommends or something that someone says, oh yeah, you're going to love this. It's going to be great. Try it, of course. But if you don't love it, don't feel like you have to do it. So I'm going to give you an example from my own life. Here in the town that I live in, exercise classes are super, super popular. And in fact, in my gym, if I were to go there right about now, probably people would be either coming in for classes, leaving classes. Many of the exercise classes in my gym start at 7:30, 8, 8:30, or 9, because people want to start their day. They want to do their exercise classes. For moms that are maybe not working or working from home, this is a perfect time. They will drop off their kids at school between 7:30 and 8 and then run over to the gym, get an exercise class in, and then be able to start their day. And if classes are your thing, that's great. Go to a class. But for me, maybe I'm a bit of a renegade, or maybe I'm too stubborn. I get into the class and all I think about is, oh, I want to get out of here, or, oh, I hate when we have to do this move. So I tend not to be, I'm non-compliant. What can I tell you? I don't like to go to classes. I tend to like to do my own thing. And for those of you that know me, you're probably laughing right now and going, Is it any surprise? But when I go to the gym, I basically try to get in and out within an hour, maybe even sometimes in 45 minutes, maybe walking on the treadmill, maybe riding on a stationary bicycle, maybe doing the elliptical, and then some weights and maybe some calisthenics, things like doing a plank or some sit-ups or some work on a ball, and then out. I am not sitting there all day yakking with the trainers or with other people. Part of that had to do with the fact that two things. Number one is when my kids were little, I was on a very tight time frame because of bus schedules. So that made me get super efficient in the gym and not hang out a lot. Number two is during COVID, we have also been on tight restrictions, especially when we were still masked and had to make reservations. We had to get in and out of the gym within about an hour, and the attendants would come through and say, thank you so much, but you need to leave now because we're going to clean the gym. So really, you had to be efficient. You couldn't sit there and chit chat. You had to get out and do whatever it is you needed to get in and get out, right? So just like everything else, the way we approach our fitness is going to help us. If you're enthusiastic about it, it's going to be better. Try to find a friend. It's always easier to go to the gym. I even try to make friends. So for example, I've been going to the gym with my daughter. Now my daughter's gone. But I've made enough friends in the gym over time that I really enjoy getting there and seeing the people that are there doing the same thing that I'm doing. So whether it's a goal to just spend some time together with a friend or with your family, implement a healthy lifestyle habit, or maybe both, be sure to frame your physical activity as something fun and never a chore. Okay, so let's talk number one about the athlete's kit. I love the athlete's kit. We know the things that are in it: the Breathe, the On Guard, lavender, melaleuca, peppermint, and deep blue rub. I love the different, kind of the mix of items in this kit, and I have promoted it and encouraged athletes to use it again and again. A lot of the college students that I know use this kit or have this kit with them. We're using our Breathe to promote feelings of clear airways and easy breathing during or after a workout. Our On Guard to help to protect the body from environmental threats. Our lavender, our melaleuca, and our peppermint, relaxing, soothing, cleansing, rejuvenating, invigorating, right? We're using those for different reasons, maybe together, maybe alone, applying them to the body. And you can use them at every stage of the workout, either before, during, or after exercise. And of course, the granddaddy of them all, the deep blue rub. Anyone with an active lifestyle is going to need this product. I have to say, I keep the giant bottle in a couple of places in our house, and it's saved us more than once. I've got Teresa saying she loves classes because it's social and fun. Absolutely. And if you love classes and you pick a class that you like and you love seeing the people that are there, not to mention the fact you become involved in each other's lives, right? You see the teacher, you see the other students. It really is a great thing. And if that's your thing, absolutely go to those classes. But you want to make fitness a lifestyle, choosing things that will help you to get out and be active. So we know that physical activity is crucial to a healthy lifestyle, as is healthy eating. And just as you should make good food choices, you want to be able to balance and put in moderation your fitness, right? We don't want to be one of those people who stays in the gym for 4 hours. I have a relative, he will go nameless at this moment, but he used to talk to us and say, yeah, that he was very busy, that he was spending 4 hours in the gym. Now that's a lot of time. And I'm wondering, if you're spending 4 hours in the gym every day, what is it that you're not doing, or what are you avoiding, right? So for variety, you want to choose different activities to move different muscle groups, find balance in your physical activity based on the benefits. And then you want to keep fit without overdoing it. How many of you have gotten out of the gym? And it's happened to me. I overdid it in one way or the other. And I start thinking, oh, my shoulder, my elbow, whatever it is. I just went a little bit too far. And don't forget to encourage your kids to seek out activities based on their interests, right? Every kid has different sorts of interests. I know that a couple of people are commenting that they missed the giant deep blue container. I know it's not available right now, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's going to still be available. Some of the essential oil supplements that I love for a healthy lifestyle include, of course, top on the list, Lifelong Vitality Pack, then our MyDōTERRA Max. I take that every morning. And I don't know if you realize I took mine this morning, so I have plenty of energy before I get on the call. Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex, and On Guard soft gels. I would add in there, I have to say that it's not on the slide, but I would add in there either the turmeric capsules to reduce inflammation, or maybe or the yarrow palm capsules. Both of those are terrific for supporting a healthy lifestyle and supporting your cardiovascular system, right? That's what we really want, especially as we're going to do cardiovascular exercise. So we know there's tons of benefits from the Lifelong Vitality Pack, including our XC Omega, our Microplex VMZ, and our Alpha CRS. And whether we use them together when we use them together, they provide a variety of benefits, including antioxidant protection, immune function support, bone health, cardiovascular health, lung and respiratory health, energy and metabolism support, healthy hair, skin, nails, digestive health, and liver function. A big deal, right? I've been watching a lot of documentaries actually on health lately. I don't know, I've had some extra time, or maybe I've been in the gym and watching those. And I have to say, one of the biggest things is liver health, and that many of us don't have healthy livers, and that non-alcoholic liver disease is actually, fatty liver disease is becoming a big problem. And a lot of that has to do with the rise in diabetes rates throughout the world, but it also has to do with poor eating habits. So make sure you're taking the supplements that are going to support you in your healthy lifestyle. I was listening to a doctor the other day, Dr. Michelle McMacken, who was an internist here in New York. She's been interviewed on a podcast, and she described how when we take in, especially high fructose corn syrup, but any high sugary food products, that our liver actually, let's just say it excretes fat into the bloodstream. That sounds like a scary thing. So we really want to make sure that we're keeping those, balancing what we're eating and balancing our lifestyle. Okay, let's talk now about physical activity guidelines for kids. Now, I have to tell you, I love this picture because my daughter was actually a hockey player when she was young. I know it sounds crazy. My tiny little daughter was a hockey player and just loved it. She loved to skate, and there was a co-ed team here in our town. She did it for about 3 seasons. After the 3rd season, the boys were kind of growing like crazy, and she was not growing quite as fast. And the coach came to me and said, actually after the 2nd season, he said, I'll keep her on 1 more season, but after next season, she's going to have to move up. And then I don't know, she's kind of tiny. And so when the 3rd season came, I got so worried. And I think I've told this story before, that she would be really upset, or that she would be, I don't know, she would start to cry. And I said, the boys are getting much bigger. You'd have to move into the bigger league. And kind of couching my language in this kind of nervous mom type of chit chat. And she looked at me and she said, I'll find another sport. And that was the end of hockey. Now, both of my kids are big skaters still. I think they got that from me because I love to skate, not ice skating. I love rollerblading. And before that, I was a roller skater. So roller skates are the ones that are 1, 2, 3, 4, and rollerblades are the 4 in a line. And I've done both. And when my kids were little, I used to actually roll their carriages with me skating behind. I know that's a crazy image, but it is absolutely true. And I have photos to prove it. Let's talk a little bit about preschool age children, age 3 to 5 years. And if you have a preschool age child, let me know in the chat. I want to hear about it. Preschool age children should be physically active throughout the day to enhance growth and development. We don't want to tell our children, sit down, be quiet, fold your hands, sit down, be quiet, fold their hands. because we tend to tell that to them in school, especially little ones. We want them to calm down, Really, kids need to be active. So when they're outside of school and they can be active, you want to encourage them to be as active as they need to be. Not destructive, mind you, active, right? Encourage them to have healthy play. Children and adolescents, and this is ages 6 through 17, should do about 60 minutes or more of moderate to vigorous physical activity daily. That means they're getting out, they're running, they're having lots of play time. And even though they're in high school, secondary school, if they're 17, encourage them to play. Jessica's saying that she has a 3 and a 5-year-old, and they are super active, and that her daughter loves skateboarding. Yeah. Get them out there. It's okay. And if they get some scrapes and bumps, it's all right. Encourage them to be active. They need to do that. It's great for their physical and mental growth. And it's important to provide kids and adolescents opportunities and encouragement to participate in physical activities that are appropriate for their age, that are enjoyable, and offer variety. So encourage your kids. Doesn't matter if we want to encourage them to do things that will fit your budget, right? We don't always have to be doing the most expensive activity ever. Hockey was a bit of an expense because, as you can see, you need the gloves, the stick, the helmet, and so on. But anything that you encourage your kids to do is a great activity. So here's some additional essential oils for fitness, things that will promote feelings of clear breathing, relaxation, healthy immune system, healthy metabolism. Let's talk about a couple of different examples that I like. So for clear airways, and you may want to take a couple of notes because I don't have this on the screen. We have things like cardamom, Douglas fir, eucalyptus, lavender, melaleuca, peppermint. All of those are wonderful for easy breathing. You can apply them right on the chest. You can put them on your hands and cup your hands over your nose and mouth and breathe in, but all of those will help you with easy breathing. If you're a person who likes a massage from time to time, and who doesn't really like a massage, but massages can help us relax our muscles after a strenuous workout or a series of strenuous workouts. If you've been working out for a long time and you haven't had a massage and you're feeling tense, stressed, anxious, maybe now is the time to get a massage, even if it's just a foot or hand massage. Oils that I like for massage include black pepper, cedarwood, cypress, eucalyptus, ginger, lemongrass, vetiver, and wintergreen. Many of those are included in some of the blends that we have, but individually, they are wonderful to add into your daily or weekly routine. Boosting your immune system, we talked a little bit about that. Some of the oils that I like to boost my immune system include cinnamon bark, clove, frankincense, and you all know I take frankincense under my tongue every single day. Juniper berry for circulation, lime, myrrh, petitgrain, thyme, and wild orange. So we're seeing in the immune system support oils, some of our citrus oils, some of our bark or our spices, and of course, the granddaddy of them all, frankincense, right? And then last but not least, if we're looking to protecting the body by bolstering the immune system, we want to maintain a healthy metabolism, right? We're working towards fitness and wellness goals. So some of the oils that I like for fitness and wellness goals include things like bergamot, black pepper, cassia, clove again, fennel, grapefruit, helichrysum, lime, or thyme. So some of those can be blended in capsules. You can take them individually, but those are some of my very, very favorite oils. And I might actually be able to add some of these into the chat, maybe a little bit later. But if you have any questions, you can listen to this again, right? And come right to this minute and you can hear all my recommendations. Jessica says that her 10 and 12-year-olds are are too, and they're always dancing, skating, and swimming. I can't keep up. It's great. It's great. Get them out there, help them to move around. If your kids are older and you have a memory of them being active, tell me in the chat, because I know some of you have 20, maybe even 30-year-olds at this point, and you're thinking, can I even remember that? But every little bit helps. We want to hear from you in the chat. Okay, so let's talk about physical activity guidelines for adults, right? This is important. So guidelines from the Department of Health and Human Services here in the US says that adults should move more and sit less throughout the day. So I have to say, I actually wear an Apple Watch, and my Apple Watch will go beep, 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 beep. Not like that exactly, but it will indicate to me you've been sitting too long and it's time to get up. And I actually have what I call a standing goal. So I know that sounds crazy, but I want to be able to stand at least once every hour for 12 hours of the day. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean literally I get out of my chair, stand up and sit back down again. I have to get up, walk around a little bit, and just get some of my blood flowing. What's interesting is I usually hit that 12-hour goal unless I'm driving, which you know I've been doing a lot of lately. And so then I actually will look at my watch, and it's painful to see that I've been sitting and sitting and sitting for hours, because it gives me that kind of feedback. If you wear a Fitbit or you wear any sort of smartwatch or smart device, let me know. And do you have some sort of a setting on your watch that reminds you to get up? Mine also reminds me to breathe, which is crazy. Obviously, I'm breathing all day, but I think what it means is take a deep breath. That's what I need. And that's a reminder that I really need. Okay, so for substantial health benefits, at least, adults should do at least 150 to 300 minutes, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes up to 5 hours a week of moderate intensity, or 75 to 150 minutes, 1 hour and 15 minutes to 2 hours and 30 minutes a week of vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity, or an equivalent combination of moderate and vigorous, right? So if you're wearing one of these watches or one of these Fitbit devices, you also know that they can track how quickly you're walking or running. You can set them if you're walking through an airport, and just make sure you get a sense of what's the activity I'm doing throughout the day. I've been wearing my watch, I want to say almost every day for about 3 years. And I think my fitness level has improved. There was a time where I just took it off because I just thought, can't do it anymore. But I quickly put it back on because I really think it's a good way to keep track of my fitness. Annie says that yes, that the band 4E will remind her to stretch after 20 minutes of sitting. That's a terrific thing. So if you are actively working towards fitness and you tend to sit a lot during the day, getting up and walking and stretching are all great things. Betty says, sometimes I thought my Fitbit told me it's time to feed myself because I was mostly hungry during break, but actually asking to feed my steps. That's hysterical. Thanks for sharing that, Betty. That's really cute. Also, adults should do muscle strengthening activities of moderate or higher intensity, and that involve all the major muscle groups on 2 or more days a week. So you're getting some aerobic activity, right? Getting in there and really sweating and raising your heart rate. And then you're also doing some moving your major muscle groups, because all of that's going to help keep you fit. Okay, ideas for using essential oils during fitness. There's quite a few here. Maybe you want to take a quick snapshot of this slide. I'm going to talk about a few others. Things that are not going to be on the screen. You can read the screen. I don't have to read it to you. But oils like cassia can be taken internally for immune system support, or mixed with lemon in water to ward off hunger cravings. Cedarwood before exercising, you can rub it into your chest to maintain vitality throughout your workout. And clove, which we mentioned several times, helps maintain a healthy immune system, promotes healthy blood circulation, and may calm tense muscles. I'm actually going to drink a sip of water because I'm talking so fast that my mouth is getting dry. This is my blender bottle, folks. And yes, I know it's plastic, but I have no essential oils in it. I took my essential oils under my tongue before I sat down, because I sometimes find when I'm on here and I start drinking, I just pour it on my face, just because I do. Let's talk a little bit about eucalyptus, which promotes feelings of clear breathing and open airways, but is also wonderful for a soothing massage. Fennel. So we just got some fennel, right, in our BOGO boxes. And I should mention that. Who got a BOGO box last week? Let me know in the chat. I hope everybody says they got one. You can just raise your hands or you tell me in the chat, did you get a BOGO box? And I mean, did you order it? Because I know it wasn't delivered yet. I'm also drinking iced coffee here. Who got a BOGO box? Yes. Thank you, everyone. I see all the hands going up. Terrific. I love it. So many of you telling me that you got your BOGO box. That's really great. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. I know they're going to be a lot of fun once you actually get them. Some great products in there. And fennel was one of them. So fennel, terrific. Take a drop in water or tea to help fight off sweet tooth cravings. That's a really good one. So Megan says she got her box. Lee Ju says got their box. Sihan says yes. Pauline says yes, and Quimby says, raises their hand. I love that little, oh my gosh, what's it called? Emoji. I love your little emoji, Quimby. Thank you so much. We've got some great oils in doTERRA, right? Wonderful things to stay fit. Helichrysum, we can use it in conjunction with a full body massage to promote vitality and energy. Marjoram to massage, adding to a massage to support our muscles if they're tired, stressed before and after exercising. Melissa could be added both for immune support under the tongue or applied to really sore muscles. And finally, I love, actually two that I love Siberian fir and I love wintergreen. Siberian fir, we can diffuse before exercising for an energizing effect. Put it on your hands and just breathe it in. And then wintergreen, massaging into the hands, the back, the legs, all the places that we would put deep blue rub. Wintergreen is another amazing essential oil. Okay, what are some of the types of physical activity that we want to be doing? Number one on the hit parade is aerobic. We need to keep our hearts healthy, right? If we're going to feel healthy throughout our lives. Helps make our hearts and lungs strong, boosts our mood, reduces the risk of certain diseases, including diabetes, and gets our heart pumping and makes you breathe harder. Usually gets your whole body moving. And of course, we can do anything from dancing to biking to fast-paced walking, but this should be really daily or at least 5 times a week. Muscle strengthening, do more work, helps our muscles to do more work than usual. That's what makes them stronger, kind of forces them to kind of break down and then build back up again stronger. That's going to help us to do our daily tasks and prevent injuries and burn more calories to help us to maintain our weight. Doing things like push-ups, squats, climbing trees, all of these can be done at least 3 times a week. And kids do a ton of these type of exercises because they're always pulling themselves up, pull-ups, sit-ups, they're all muscle strengthening. And then finally, bone strengthening. And this is a big deal, guys, and ladies and men, right? We want to make sure that our bones stay healthy, specifically as we age, right? So things like jumping rope, skipping, running, gymnastics, anything that forces us to really push on our bones, right? So we want to pull-ups. Those types of things are going to strengthen our bones. And so as we age, we're not going to be as frail. I want to make sure that as we get older, we stay really strong. Anything that has to do with unstructured family play. I love this picture because it's just sort of mom, dad, and a middle school aged kid, right? Just kind of playing around. The weights are on the floor, and it looks like they might be in a home gym or in another gym, but just they're getting in there together and exercising together. School and community sports teams are a great way for kids to stay active. Many teens though are on sports teams, and I see parents just on the sidelines. And my son's school, we would see parents on the sideline, and some of them would be drinking alcohol, which is not always the best thing. But stay active as much as you can and encourage your kids to do the same. Excuse me. To stay fit as a family, plan unstructured activities into your family time, things like freeze tag, playground fun, backyard sports, running, whatever you can do, dancing, impromptu dance parties. So let's talk a little bit about outdoor recreation. So if you're getting outdoors, if you live in a place where you can get outdoors and you can walk, if you live near mountain or river or beautiful terrain, or you just live in a city and you want to get out and walk around, If you can go to an island, I know many of you have gone to Sentosa and other places to try to, in the Philippines, there are beautiful places to walk around, to go do some hiking, mountain biking, skiing, kayaking, rock climbing. Now, these are not activities we can do every single day, right? But planning events so that we can get out and do these different activities, even from time to time. For those of you who are hikers, I really want to hear from you. I love hiking, but I don't get to do it that much. I don't have the opportunity to hike. There are places near me that I could go out hiking, but the people I know are not hikers. I used to be involved with a group that went hiking every single week, and I'd like to get back to it again. I would definitely use my Terra Shield, as you see here. But if you're a hiker, please let me know. I know some of the city dwellers, even if you live in Hong Kong, I know my sister and brother-in-law lived there for about 6 years, and they would hike up above into the peak. And it was just beautiful vistas and a wonderful walk. And you get out of the city proper and just really be able to kind of walk around and be in nature and get out and just and get some good exercise, right, in the great outdoors. You want to apply your Terra Shield. We all know that Terra Shield is going through a rebranding, if you will. It's a rebranding and also a new formulation that fits better with the Environmental Protection Agency recommendations here in the United States. I think it's going to be even more effective. This is not a change that's being made because the original dōTERRA, the original Terra Shield was not effective. It's being made to really address some new guidelines here in the United States. And I think we're going to see greater efficacy as well. You can also apply things like cedarwood and cypress. Oh, Jessica says she loves hiking and being in nature. That's great. I love it. And then we can combat some environmental threats with things like arborvitae, clove, coriander, frankincense, and melaleuca. So all of these essential oils work together to help protect us when we're outdoors, protect us specifically against either airborne threats or insects, right? If you're going out hiking and you're plagued by insects, or even ticks can be, and you want to make sure when you come back in that you're checking for ticks because they can be very serious. You can make yard work a game. Now, many of you I know live in cities, you don't do yard work, but you can make your cleaning a game. I know I used to have my kids running around the house and I would pay them a penny, or I would hide a penny so they could run around the house and try to find the penny. I don't know how much cleaning actually got done, but they had a lot of fun. Anything from clearing yards, shoveling the driveway, mopping, dusting, all of those can be made, work can be made into games. You can do scavenger hunts, and I haven't been on a scavenger hunt in a while, but they are really fun. Elena reminds me that there's so many parks to explore in Singapore, and love going for walks or hikes. And you're absolutely right, Elena. There's some beautiful parks in Singapore. If there is a beautiful park near you, tell me in the chat what the name is. Z tells me she loves nature too and misses all the parks in the US. Pre-convention trip can only walking in Singapore Park, but you have some really beautiful parks, I have to say, and big ones, right? So if you want to take a day and just really kind of meander around, you can take different walks. You can start in one side and then come back and do the other side another day. I know sometimes that walking in our own parks, we get a little bit bored. Eliana says there's something called the Dairy Farm Nature Reserve, and Z says the national parks in the US. Yes, we are extremely blessed here in the US. We live in a very, very big country, as you know. And we also had President Roosevelt, who was our president in the early 1900s, was Teddy Roosevelt was an environmentalist and a naturalist, and he really wanted to preserve much of our natural terrain, and he created the national park system. So thank you, Teddy, for having done that for us, and we are all the beneficiaries, whether you live here or you don't. I know many of you have come to the US and visited our national parks, and they are just some of the best. So planning a hike, going to the park, the beach, or another outdoor area for physical activity. I have to say, I love walking along the beach, either either in the deep kind of dry sandy area so that you get a really good workout, or on the wet area where it's a little bit harder, but still that idea of hearing the rolling surf, you've got bare feet. It's just, it's a wonderful thing. Use your sunscreen, of course, put on your myrrh oil, use a hat, cover up if you're going to be out there for hours and hours, but just plan a hike, get out there and walk. This is a great opportunity now during the summer months to get out and enjoy some of our wonderful good weather. You may learn something new, you may see something, and it's not a job, right? A hike, one of the things I love about hiking is you can kind of look around, you can pick things up. When you're walking along the beach, you can pick up a shell, you can pick up a pebble or a piece of sea glass. It's all about exploration. One of the things that I love about it. So some of the oils that I love for hiking, for any types of outdoor recreation, I mentioned quite a lot to you, but there are different sorts of things, activities besides our activities that you could be doing. You could be also riding our bike. I forgot to mention bicycles. That's another big one. We talked about skating quite a bit, or skiing, of course. We can also do yoga, and we're going to talk a little bit about yoga a little bit later on. Planning races. Now, I know some of you have done this before, some of you have not. David says, I go often to McRitchie Reservoir for nature walks. Cool. I don't know McRitchie Reservoir. Tell me a little bit more about that. I'd love to hear more. You can sign up for local events and train together as a family. So some of the local events will be 5K or 10K or 3K to support either a local organization or some sort of health organization. These are great ways for you to kind of train and get ready and then do the actual walk or run, whatever it is. And training together towards a common goal provides a source of motivation and also a means of bonding for the whole family. Okay, let's talk a little bit about organized sports. Now, here in the US, you know, we are crazy about sports. I don't even have to tell you. If you're an American, you know that it's like, I don't even know. They say it's baseball is the national pastime, but every time I turn on my television, we have tons and tons of sports. We have tons of channels, television channels dedicated to sports. Americans are crazy about organized sports, but many of us just watch sports on television, which is not really the best thing. You don't have to be a professional athlete to really enjoy sports. Just get out there and do it. If you do some sort of a team sport, pick up games with friends. You can use your essential oils, encourage your kids, your children and your teenagers to do the same thing. And organized sports, if they're not too crazy, can be a great way for kids to meet other kids and to socialize. And you want to apply your essential oils to your feet if you're running around a lot, or you've been playing basketball like this lady has, for calming and soothing afterwards. I know sometimes if I do something that I haven't done in a while or that I haven't done before, I come in and I'm thinking, whoa, I'm feeling a little bit achy. For me, that's the time to take a really nice bath and soak with some Epsom salts and some essential oils. So for me, soaking in a hot tub with some essential oils is a great way for me to unwind. Dance party. I know little ones love dance parties. I used to dance with my kids and just sing out loud all the time. As they get older, they can get a little bit more, I don't know, like, Mom, what are you doing? Your dancing is horrible. Doesn't matter. You yourself can dance around all around your house. I sometimes would wait until my kids would be out of the room. Then I'd crank up the music and start dancing all over the place. It's great exercise, folks. Just keep moving. So let's talk. We're going to talk about the three age groups. Look at this cutie with her barkley. Is she the cutest? She's just adorable. According to a report from Active Healthy Kids, lifestyle patterns of kids under the age of 6 can predict obesity later in life. Interesting, right? So parent-baby exercise is a great way for parents to stay fit while modeling healthy behavior for little ones. You can do things like baby lifts, right? You lay on the floor and you kind of lift baby like this. Push up, peekaboo. You get into a push-up position so that you can see each other and kind of push up. You can surprise your baby, right? And then baby weight squats, holding onto your baby, right? And you can squat and get up. All of these are great ways for you to get and stay healthy with your baby, and also to help your baby see you exercising. I used to do some of these with my baby. They were my kids when they were babies, and they're really fun. I know a lot of men, I've never done this, would throw the baby in the air. I'm sure you've seen that from time to time. I've never done it. I don't think my husband did it too much either. It was just too nerve-wracking for me, but I'm sure that's good arm exercise if that's something that you've done in your family. For preschoolers and kindergartners, everything from follow the leader, Simon Says, drawing a maze on the driveway, imitating different animal walks, obstacle courses, wheelbarrow or crab walk races, practicing yoga. I have to say, in my kids' school, the schools that both of them went to, was a huge emphasis on fitness, activity, outdoor walks. So that's one of the reasons why we chose the school. And we were lucky enough to have really good schools in our neighborhood. They went to a school that was a little further away, but just a lot of physical activity all the time. For school-age kids, they're going to have a little bit more coordination and typically have longer attention spans, all of which is going to help them to be able to stay active. You want to get them excited about their physical activities, weekend bike rides, backyard frisbee, rollerblading, hockey, and you know your child's skill level, right? So when you choose an activity or suggest an activity for them, pick something that they're likely to enjoy and have success at. I know some parents will talk about how their kid is maybe not as coordinated as other children. There's always an activity for someone to do to stay active. Tweens and teens. So this can be a tricky one. If your kid has not been active up until this time, and all of a sudden you say, hey, get out there and do some sports, it may be a little bit tricky. And it's hard sometimes to get them excited about family time. So you want to make sure that they're participating in activities where they can be with their friends. The goal really is to help them to put down the technology, incorporate, maybe if you can, high-tech tools like WeFit or some of those other online sources of activity. You may have a gym membership that they can participate at that time. I know our gym usually says, I think it's 18 and above, they can go by themselves. From, I think it's 14 to 18, they must go with a parent. Then they're able to either attend classes or work out in the gym with parents, with a parent with them, right? At-home workouts are really great. I know one of the things that many people were talking about during the pandemic was using online workouts, whether it was things from workouts from Peloton or other online workouts. How many of you did online workouts during the pandemic, either something you got on your phone or something you downloaded? Let me know in the chat. Rock climbing gym can be really fun. I don't know how many of them are open right now near me, but I think if they're cleaned well, they can be a really great place. Let's talk a minute about healthy eating. I think in the next few weeks, we're going to be talking more and more about healthy eating. It's something I'm diving more deeply into, a plant-based diet. And it's something, and look, folks, I am far from perfect and I am not a vegan, but I'm really looking into some of the newer research that I'm seeing, and plant-based nutrition is really an important one. Oops, there we go. Plant-based nutrition, I think, is one of the ways that we can get and stay healthy, and focusing our diet on plants, even if we're incorporating some animal products, I think is the way to greater health. If you want to spend time in the kitchen with your kids and help them to see how food is prepared, where it comes from, I think is also an important way for us to help our kids and our family stay healthy. You want to try to look for recipes that your kids would like. I know one of the things that we did when my kids were a little bit older, by the time they were in high school, I would get one of these easy recipe magazines that had healthy recipes in it. And I'd say, okay, pick anything in here, we'll buy the ingredients, and then the two of you work together and make the recipe, whatever it is. And they would work together. Some of the choices were really kind of funny, but we had a lot of fun and they had a lot of fun, and they would kind of close the doors to the kitchen and make us stay out so that it would be a big surprise at the end of the night. But we I've always encouraged healthy eating with my kids. I see my daughter still now as a young adult eating very healthy. My son kind of like this, and I think is influenced a lot by his friends. But there's been a lot of talk lately on our house about being able to kind of resist what everybody else is eating. So if everybody else is eating, sugary snacks or sodas or eating a lot of burgers or fries, how do you come to that table, or how do you stay in that environment, but either be able to choose wisely or choose to eat at another time? And I think it's tricky, right? But I think you can work it out. So final tips on active play. You want to balance your sedentary time, such as reading, with other activities like tag, jumping rope, and hopscotch. And when you are, even as adults, right? Like as we're sitting in our house, schedule your time to get out. So as many of you know, I work with a planner, right? I have it right here, and I already have my gym time scheduled in for the day. So the minute I get off this call, I know that I have a couple of hours to be able to get to the gym, get back, take a shower, and then still be able to meet with people and have my meetings the rest of the day. So make sure you're scheduling in that active time every single day. Home lessons, and this is the one thing that I wanted to mention, can be very, very easy and fun, especially now during the pandemic. Except maybe, I don't know, swim lessons, unless you have a pool in your complex and you want to have a swim teacher come over. But you can use yoga instructors. There are all sorts of instructors that are available online to be able to provide you with different sorts of classes. Here's obviously a mom and daughter doing yoga. I want to take a second to talk about our yoga collection, which I really love. You know that the yoga collection contains 3 different essential oils: Arise, Align, and Anchor. So Arise essential oil includes grapefruit, lemon, melissa, and Siberian fir. Actually, my personal favorite. Align includes bergamot, coriander, marjoram, peppermint, jasmine, and rose. So very florally, but really another delicious one. And then finally, Anchor, black pepper, cedarwood, cinnamon, patchouli, frankincense, and sandalwood to promote feelings of completeness, calmness, and courage. So using the 3 either together in succession or individually, they really are, it's a wonderful set. And it looks really nice because it comes in that beautiful presentation box. I just want to remind you to prioritize fitness. Look, I know it's not easy, and I know that if you haven't been working out for a while, you may feel challenged to really start, but just taking a few minutes every day and really committing to it, something that you're doing for yourself, can be so intensely powerful. Just taking that time to say to yourself, you know what, this is something that I really need to do for my own health and not for anybody else. Right? Healthy habits, last but not least, what are some of the benefits of exercise? As we know, giving us obviously better health, right? But better sleep, a healthy weight, an outlet for stress, decreasing cravings for unhealthy foods, and elevated cognitive function. Because if our blood vessels are healthy in our heart, they're going to be healthy throughout our entire body, including the vessels that we have in our brain. We want to continue to be cognitively sharp even into our old age. And the benefits of healthy eating include, of course, maintaining a healthy weight, but also promoting heart health, having strong muscles and bones, promoting brain function. And you know, this is a big one for me. You know that my mother has some cognitive issues. She is 91, but I really want to be as sharp as we can, as long as we can. It can improve our mood. Exercise absolutely is linked to mood improvement and support a longer, healthier lifespan. Because if we live longer, but we're not healthy, maybe not the best thing. But if we live longer and we are cognitively and physically active and we feel good, then that's a great way to live. I know Dr. Hill talks about that also all the time. Okay, so I'm giving you this opportunity to ask any questions. I'm going to look in the chat. If you have a question about some of the essential oils that I suggested, about exercise, you want to ask me a personal question, what do I do for exercise? Maybe I've said it all, I don't know. Go ahead now, you've got your opportunity. The chat is open. I really want to hear from you. And then we've got some really good resources. As I mentioned, I hope that you took a snapshot of some of the essential oil recommendations that I had before. So ask away. Megan says, how do you take your shakes daily? Do you still eat after shakes? Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so I do one of two things. If I'm going to eat a shake, I don't also eat a meal at that time. So if I'm going to eat, let's say, a vegan protein shake, I would prepare my vegan protein shake either for breakfast or for lunch, but I would also not eat at the same time. If I add shakes to my diet, as opposed to just substituting a shake for a meal, I will definitely begin to gain weight, and I don't want to do that. The eating part would be for me to really just, and I think shakes, when I blend in fresh fruits and vegetables into the smoothie, it's a wonderful way for me to be able to incorporate some plant-based, just more plants into my diet. Now, sometimes with a smoothie though, it tastes so delicious, you just drink it down lickety split and you don't even have the sensation of satiety, right? You feel, wow, I just drank that thing. Now I'm also going to sit down and eat. Just allow your body to really, you have to wait till we have those satiety cues. It usually takes about 20 minutes. So if you're drinking a shake and you tend to be one of these people who just sucks it down, right? Take your time, give yourself about 20 minutes, and then you should be able to feel, okay, even if you have to set a timer, but don't eat and drink the shake, right? It's one or the other, at least at that particular meal. Okay, any other questions? That's a good one. I also take the fiber in the morning because I feel like in general, we don't get enough fiber in our diets. Nobody does. And we're hearing that 25 grams is about the minimum, but for really healthy digestive system, we want to get to about 40 grams a day. And I have to say, I get nowhere near that, even from my regular diet. So if you are a person who is thinking, oh, I get a lot of fiber from my diet, really take out a calculator and kind of calculate up even a single day. What did you eat yesterday? And there's tons of calculators online. So that's a great question. If there's any additional questions, we'll get to them in a minute. Some of the recommendations for fitness, I'm actually going to add them into our chat. Whoops, here we go. Things about ideas to get moving, recommendations for, where's our, let's see if I can get it into our thing. And then I just want to say, last but not least, thank you for everyone who's been on here today. I love helping families come together and improve their health. And I hope you're feeling like you've got some great ideas. And whether you're helping your own family or helping another family pass on some of these ideas, I know that some of the teams in Singapore specifically have been very active getting out, trying to hike, really getting together and encouraging others to do the same. So that's a really wonderful thing. Final check-in, let me know how you're feeling. If there's anything you want to, oh, Farika says thank you. Thank you, Farika. Thank you for having been here. And I'm going to, whoops, there we go. Come back. I think I'm still sharing my screen, right? There we go. Okay, now we're better. That took a minute. I'm looking with a new, I'm working with a new screen. So I'm trying to balance where I'm looking. My old screen was giant size and the new one is a little bit smaller and lower. So if you see me looking a little bit all over the place, I'm actively working to make this presentation better. And I hope over the next few weeks, it gets better and better and even more fun, more interactive. I want to be able to hear from you and really talk to you each week. I love when you get on the chat and you tell me different things. So We are going to give away, we have some great gifts today. We're going to say goodbye, farewell to everybody who's on the YouTube, who's listening in. Click the subscribe button and follow us, and also ring the bell so that you'll get notifications. We love to see you here. I hope you're recommending this every single week to everyone that you meet and that you're talking to about essential oils. Next week, we're going to be back talking about monthly specials and how to use them. We talk about that every single month. I think it's important because we always have cool new things that are coming out, why we use them. And then I think we're also going to talk a little bit more about the BOGO box and go through each one of those essential oils, especially if you have any questions. If you have any questions this week, please let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear them. In the meantime, thank you so much for having been here. Stay on if you're on the live. We're going to be giving away some prizes, and we've got some great prizes for you this week. Have a wonderful week.